What if I told you you're the prize, not her, not the fantasy you created in your head, you? The moment she walked away, she didn't take anything from you. You just forgot who you were. Right now, I know it doesn't feel that way. You feel like you lost something irreplaceable, like you weren't good enough, like maybe, just maybe, if you had done one thing differently, she would still be here. That's the lie your mind is feeding you. The truth? She thought she could do better. She thought the grass was greener somewhere else. She thought she had options, and that's why she left without hesitation. That's why she seemed so sure of her decision. Because in her mind, you were just another chapter, not the whole book. And you played your part perfectly. You were loyal, consistent, present. You gave her your time, your energy, your emotions, things you didn't just hand out to anyone. But instead of valuing them, she took them for granted. Because that's what people do when they think something will always be there. They assume they can replace it, that they can find something newer, shinier, more exciting. But here's where she was wrong. Not every man can be replaced. Some men leave a void so deep that no one else can fill it. Some men are a standard, not just an experience. And you were never just a placeholder. She just didn't realize it yet. And that's the beauty of regret. It doesn't hit immediately. It doesn't show up when she's out partying, soaking up attention, living in the illusion of infinite options. Number regret is a slow poison. It creeps in when reality sets in, when the men she thought were upgrades turn out to be disappointments, when the attention she chased feels empty, when she realizes that no one else treats her the way you did, and by the time she figures it out, it's too late. Because you're no longer waiting. See, this isn't about getting her back. This isn't about revenge. This is about power. Your power. The power that comes when you stop chasing, stop caring, stop waiting for someone to wake up and see your worth. Because when you stop needing her validation, you become the man she regrets losing. So now you have a choice. You can sit in your pain, replaying old memories, waiting for her to come back. Or you can become untouchable. The kind of man who doesn't need to prove anything. The kind of man who never loses, because he never needed her to begin with. If you're done feeling like the one who lost, if you're ready to reclaim your power, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, I am the prize. Number 1, the illusion of loss. She left. Now what? Your mind is racing, trying to make sense of it. You convince yourself that you lost something rare, something special, something you'll never find again. The memories replay like a broken record, every moment amplified, every smile, every touch, every I love you, now a ghost that haunts you. But here's the harsh truth. You didn't lose her. She lost you. Right now, your emotions are clouding your judgment. You're feeling the withdrawal, the emptiness, the silence that comes when someone who was once a constant in your life is suddenly gone. But what you're feeling isn't love, it's attachment. And attachment is dangerous because it tricks you into believing that without this one person, your world is incomplete. That's the illusion. Look around you. The world hasn't stopped. The sun still rises, time still moves. And you're still here. You're still breathing, and that means you still have power. But you won't see it until you remove the blindfold, until you stop romanticizing someone who walked away from you like you were replaceable. Because here's the reality. She didn't leave because you weren't good enough. She left because she thought she had better options. She thought she could do better. And in doing so, she exposed herself, not you. She showed you exactly who she is. A woman who doesn't see value in loyalty. A woman who chases the thrill of something new instead of appreciating what's real. And now, she expects you to fall apart, to beg, to plead, to prove your worth. Because that's what most men do. They break, they chase, they hand over their dignity in hopes of getting her back. But you're not most men. Because you see through the illusion. You don't chase what doesn't belong to you. You don't cry over someone who threw away something they'll never find again. You accept reality, you take the pain, and you transform it into power. Because once you realize that losing her wasn't really a loss but a lesson, you unlock something dangerous, true emotional freedom. And the moment you step into that mindset, she feels it. She won't see the weak, broken man she expected. She'll see a man who doesn't need her, a man who is moving forward, untouched, unshaken. And nothing is more terrifying to someone who thought they had control over you than realizing they don't. So ask yourself, was it really a loss? Or was it the best thing that ever happened to you? Number 2, the power of indifference. Nothing unsettles someone more than being ignored. Indifference is the ultimate power move, the one thing she never expected from you. She thought she had you figured out. She thought you'd break, that you'd chase, that you'd wait. But instead you disappear into the shadows, silent, focused, unbothered. And that silence, it speaks louder than any words ever could. See, people crave validation. She left, expecting you to react. She wanted to feel powerful, to feel like her absence meant something, to see you struggle without her. Because when you react, you confirm that she still holds space in your mind, that she still has influence over you. That's why they do it. That's why they test you. But when you don't react, when you move on like she never existed, that's when the shift happens. That's when the doubt creeps into her mind. Wait, why isn't he chasing? Why isn't he broken? Did he ever even care? And that's the moment she realizes something dangerous. She may have miscalculated. See, most men make the mistake of thinking they need to prove something, that they need to post, to flex, to show off their new life, hoping she sees it and regrets leaving. But real power, real control, it comes from doing nothing, because when you truly stop caring, she feels it. And that feeling, it eats at her. She starts checking your social media. She starts asking mutual friends about you. She starts wondering if you ever think about her at all. And the moment she realizes you don't, that you've erased her from your mind the same way she tried to erase you from her life, that's when the regret begins to set in. Indifference is your greatest weapon, because when you stop caring, she starts. So let her wonder, let her question, let her feel the void you left behind, because the second you remove her from the pedestal she never deserved, you take back the power she thought she had over you. Number 3, the silent comeback. Words mean nothing. Promises, explanations, apologies, none of it matters. Because at the end of the day, people don't respect what they hear. They respect what they see. And that's why your comeback doesn't need an announcement. No long captions, no emotional posts, no indirect messages hoping she'll notice. Nope. You move in silence. You rebuild in the dark. And by the time she realizes what's happening, it's already too late. See, she expects you to stay stuck in the past. She assumes you're hurting, waiting, hoping for her to come back. That's how most men react. They sit in their sadness, they vent to friends, they drown in distractions, but they don't evolve. And because of that, she assumes she made the right choice. But you're not giving her that satisfaction, because the best revenge isn't proving her wrong. It's becoming so focused on your growth that by the time she looks back, she doesn't even recognize the man she left behind. The weak, emotional version of you, gone. The desperate, needy man she thought she had power over doesn't exist anymore. Instead, she sees something she never expected. A man who doesn't need her. A man who is thriving without her. A man who is sharper, stronger, and more confident than ever. And when that realization hits, that's when regret kicks in. Not because she suddenly loves you, not because she's had some great awakening, but because now she sees the truth. She walked away from something rare, and nothing haunts a person more than realizing they underestimated someone who was irreplaceable. But here's the real beauty of the silent comeback. You don't care if she regrets it. You don't care if she notices. Because by the time she does, you've already moved past the version of you that wanted her to. Number 4, the nature of regret. Regret is slow. It doesn't hit immediately. When she walks away, she feels nothing. She's convinced she made the right choice. She's excited about her new life, the attention, the freedom. Right now, she feels like she's winning. But time has a way of exposing the truth. See, regret isn't instant. It creeps in like a shadow, showing up in quiet moments when she least expects it. At first, it's small, just a passing thought. Maybe she sees something that reminds her of you. Maybe she hears your name. Maybe she scrolls past an old picture, but she shakes it off. "I'm fine," she tells herself. "I made the right choice." Then reality starts to set in. The new guys, they don't treat her the same way. The attention, it fades. The excitement, it turns into disappointment. And slowly, the realization creeps in. No one else compares. That's when the regret begins to burn, because she remembers how you made her feel, how she never had to question your loyalty, how you were always there, solid, dependable, rare. And now she looks around and sees nothing but empty connections, temporary thrills that leave her feeling worse than before. And here's the part that stings the most. She can't go back. She thought she had time. She thought you'd always be there, waiting, hurting, hoping. But when she looks for you, she finds nothing. No messages, no signs of weakness, no trace of the man who once cared so deeply. And that's when she understands. She lost something she will never get back. That's the nature of regret. It doesn't hit when she leaves. It hits when she realizes that what she left behind was worth more than what she chased. But by then, it's already too late. Number 5. The unshakable frame. Emotional control is power. The moment you let someone shake you, you lose. Because when you react, you give them confirmation that they still have control. That's why she left so easily. She wanted to see what you would do. Would you chase? Would you beg? Would you break? But here's the thing. When you master your emotions, you master the game. A woman will always test a man's strength, whether she realizes it or not. She pushes, she pulls, she creates chaos just to see if you can handle it. And when you crumble, when you react out of fear or desperation, she loses respect. That's when attraction dies. But when you hold your frame, when you remain calm, indifferent, unshaken, that's when she feels something she wasn't expecting, uncertainty. Because now she doesn't know where she stands with you. She can't read you, can't predict you, can't manipulate you. And that mystery, that controlled, composed energy, it's rare. Most men react. Most men get emotional. Most men break their own boundaries just to keep a woman happy. But you're not most men. You're the man who walks away from disrespect without a second thought. You're the man who doesn't need to raise his voice to prove his strength. You're the man who controls himself because he knows that the one who controls his emotions controls everything. She expected you to fall apart. Instead, you became untouchable, and that's what makes her regret it. Not your words, not your explanations, but the fact that no matter what she does, no matter how hard she tries, she can't shake you. That's real power. Number 6. The mystery effect. Predictability kills attraction. The moment someone thinks they have you figured out, they stop valuing you. And that's exactly what happened. She knew where you stood. She knew how much you cared. She knew you'd always be there. And that's why she left so easily, because she thought she had you all figured out. See, people chase what they don't fully understand. What's unknown creates curiosity. Curiosity creates obsession. And obsession, that's what makes someone feel drawn to you, even when they don't want to be. That's why being mysterious is one of the most powerful things a man can be. When you stop explaining yourself, when you stop revealing everything, when you stop being an open book, she starts wondering. She starts asking questions in her own mind. Why isn't he reacting? What is he thinking? Does he even care? And once those thoughts start, they don't stop. Because now you're unpredictable. Now she doesn't know where she stands. Now she doesn't know if she ever really knew you at all. And that's the moment she starts looking for answers. That's when she starts checking up on you, paying attention, searching for something, anything that tells her she still matters. But when she finds nothing, That's when she feels it, the shift, the loss, the regret. Because the moment you become a mystery, you become valuable again. So stop explaining, stop proving, stop giving her the reactions she's looking for. The more you leave unanswered, the more she thinks about you. And the more she thinks about you, the more power you have. Number 7, the Law of Scarcity. What's rare is valuable. What's always available is taken for granted. This is where most men fail. They give too much, too easily, their time, their energy, their emotions. And the moment a woman realizes she can have you anytime she wants, she stops valuing you. She stops seeing you as something rare. And that's why she walked away. She assumed you would always be there. She assumed she could replace you. She assumed that even if she left, you'd still be an option, waiting in the background. And because of that assumption, she didn't hesitate to leave. But now, she's facing a different reality. Because when you remove yourself completely, when you go silent, when you disappear, when you make yourself scarce, she feels the loss. She realizes that she miscalculated, that you weren't just another guy, that finding someone like you isn't as easy as she thought. And suddenly, what she once took for granted becomes something she wants again. Because scarcity creates value. It's the reason people chase what they can't have, the reason people desire what feels out of reach, the reason people regret losing what they once ignored. So if she ever comes back, it won't be because she suddenly appreciates you. It will be because she feels the absence, the void, the lack of your presence. And that feeling, that's what brings regret. That's what makes her question everything. But here's the difference. You don't let her back in. Because by the time she realizes your value, you've already outgrown her. You've already moved forward. And nothing is more powerful than knowing you're the one who got away. Number 8, the energy shift. Energy is power, and for too long, you've been giving yours away. Think about it. How much of your time, your focus, your emotions were spent on her? You thought about her constantly. You analyzed her every word, every action. You let her decisions dictate your mood, your self-worth, your peace. And where did that get you? Drained, empty, wasted. But here's the truth. Energy doesn't disappear, it only transfers. And right now, you have a choice. You can keep pouring your energy into someone who walked away, or you can take it back and invest it where it truly matters, into yourself. Because the moment you shift that energy, everything changes. Instead of thinking about her, you focus on your goals. Instead of checking her social media, you hit the gym, you build your business, you improve your mind. Instead of replaying the past, you create a future so powerful that by the time she looks back, you're already light years ahead. And here's the twist. When you stop feeding her with your energy, she feels it. The attention she was used to, gone. The validation she assumed would always be there, disappeared. And that's when the regret starts, because now she has to face a reality where she is no longer the center of your world. But by then, it doesn't even matter to you, because the real win isn't making her regret it. It's realizing that the second you stopped giving her your energy, you became the man you were always meant to be. Number 9, the return of power. You don't chase, you attract. That's the rule. For too long, you've been operating from weakness, waiting, hoping, reacting. But now the power shifts. Now you're not looking back. Now you're not seeking closure, validation, or second chances. You are the one in control. And the moment you step into that mindset, she feels it. Because here's the truth. Women can sense when a man is truly done, not pretending, not playing games, not using no contact as a trick to get her back. When you genuinely stop caring, when you genuinely move on, she feels it in a way that words can't explain. And that's when something strange happens. She starts thinking about you, wondering about you, watching you from a distance. She won't admit it, but she'll feel the void. And that's when the regret sets in. Because now she sees the truth. You never needed her. She was an experience, not a necessity. A moment, not your mission. And by the time she realizes what she lost, you've already become someone she no longer has access to. That's the return of power. Not because she regrets it, not because she comes back, but because it doesn't matter to you anymore. You've won, not by revenge, not by proving anything, but by simply becoming the man she thought didn't exist. Number 10. The final lesson. She was a lesson, not a loss. She thought you were just another option. She thought she could replace you, move on without a second thought, find someone better. But now she knows the truth. Now she feels it. The regret, the emptiness, the slow realization that no one else treats her the way you did. That what she thought was common was actually rare. But here's the part that really stings. By the time she realizes it, you're gone. And that's the final lesson. She wasn't your loss. She was your lesson. A reminder to never give your power away. A wake-up call that showed you who you really are. Because the version of you that needed her. That man no longer exists. You evolved. You built yourself up. You became something greater than she ever expected. And now she's the one left wondering. But the difference is, you don't care. Because the real power isn't in making her regret it. The real power is in never needing her to. The real win isn't her coming back. It's you moving forward so far that even if she does, she's irrelevant. So remember this. You never truly lose someone who was meant for you. And you never chase someone who was willing to leave. She was a lesson, not a loss. And that's it. That's the truth. She thought she could replace you. She thought she could do better. She thought she had all the time in the world. But now she sees the reality. Some men can't be replaced. Some losses can't be undone. And some regrets last a lifetime. But you? You don't wait for her to realize it. You don't sit around hoping she comes back. You don't care if she ever figures it out. Because by the time she does, you've already moved past the version of yourself that wanted her to. You've built yourself into something greater, stronger, untouchable. And that's the real win. So if you're done chasing ghosts, if you're done looking back, if you're ready to step into the power that was always yours, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, I never look back. I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong, stay stoic, stay legendary.